Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the inaugural Prudent Risk Management and Insurance Awards partnered by ET Now. Now, a company's most invaluable asset lies in its human capital, its people. But that's a sentiment that Prudent Insurance Brokers, an early entrant into the insurance advisory market, truly understands. It is with that spirit in mind that the Prudent Risk Management and Insurance Awards were conceptualized. On that note, to set the tone for the evening, I'd like to invite on stage an industry veteran in his own right. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Joint Managing Director of Prudent Insurance Brokers, Pavanjit Singh Dhingra.
Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. G. Srinivas, Keynote Speaker, Mr. Tapan Singhal, panelists, members of the eminent jury, ENY team, ET Now team, finalists, guests, and finally, Prudent team members. Welcome to this inaugural Risk Management Awards, and I think I would like to start off by talking a little bit about why we did this. RIMS, Risk and Insurance Management Society in the US, has an annual event sometime in April every year. And when you go there, it takes your breath away. The entire senior leadership of the global insurance industry congregates in that one city for 5 days. And you see what is the true power and true draw that risk managers in the most developed insurance market in the world bring. And I personally envisage a situation where the US RIMS kind of situation will happen in India as well. So this is a very important community. It's a very powerful community. When I came into this industry nearly 20 years ago, we used to talk about insurance as protection. And I look back during the COVID times, and I've come to realize that insurance is not just about protection, it's about resilience. We help people bounce back. Let's celebrate our industry. Let's celebrate these incredible risk professionals. And ladies and gentlemen, today this is your day, and I wish you all the very best of luck.
Thank you, Pavanjit, for those inspiring words. And yes, it is a time for celebration, which we will get into very shortly. Now, in a rapidly changing world where technology and regulatory hurdles keep corporate India on its toes, there is a new trump card that corporate India is betting on: a professional risk manager. And tonight, just like Pavanjit said, we're celebrating the achievements of these committed warriors who help corporate India recover from risks as and when calamity, unfortunately, does strike. Now, our next speaker is an industry icon with over 4 decades of experience in the space. Please join me in welcoming our chief guest for the evening, the director of the National Insurance Academy and the former chairman and managing director of New India Assurance, Mr. G. Srinivasan.
Good evening, friends. It's a pleasure to be here. First of all, let me congratulate Prudent for taking the initiative of recognizing, awarding the risk managers from the various companies. When I was working in New India Assurance or in the insurance industry, I really found only a few companies, very progressive companies, who had full-time risk managers who focused entirely on this function, who also had a set of people focusing on risk management. I'm really glad that things are changing, and companies are understanding the importance of having a full-fledged risk management department so that the company is protected from all the possible losses. But today, what we are seeing is the landscape of risk is changing very, very rapidly. India is one of the most vulnerable countries to catastrophes. In India, the problem is accentuated because the protection gap in India is so high. Only 8% of the economic losses get covered by insurance. Remaining 92% falls on companies, individuals. I think today's risk managers need to be more proactive, assertive within the organization, more analytical, and also communicative. When I say communicative, I think they need to be constantly talking to all sections of the organization. They can't be sitting in a corner and focus on risk. And look at insurance as a wholesome value proposition. Don't look at it as a cost center. So, I've seen some of the risk managers, because they are so burdened with other responsibilities, the only question they really focus is how much my premium has come down. shouldn't become penny wise, pound foolish. Ultimately, insurance is for a broader purpose. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
After the chief guest address, a highly illustrious panel of industry heavyweights weighed in on the role of the modern-day risk manager as a company's first line of defense.
Now, it's of course an incredible honor to be surrounded by industry stalwarts. But what makes this night all the more special is that it's a night that intends to commemorate, celebrate, and salute the contributions of India's modern-day risk managers. And that means all of you in the first 4 rows there, please give yourselves a round of applause. By the very nature of the profession, right, the risk manager is often the bearer of bad news. So in an industry where no news is good news, how does that particular professional ensure that the information they convey, whether it is local data or global developments for that matter, is neither delayed nor downplayed?
Bad news will often come from the risk manager with an optimistic approach that, okay, this is the insurance we have in place. But if you have handled that risk well from business continuity management, from insurance, then you're also the harbinger of good news, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. But ma'am, just to play devil's advocate for just a moment, and Sushant, I'll bring you into the conversation now. That particular professional is often on the brunt of or the receiving end of a sea of competing interests, from internal and external stakeholders alike. So what's the key to striking the right alliances, communicating what needs to be communicated, and ultimately having your voice heard?
When something does go wrong, whether it's a natural catastrophe, whether it's a large explosion, the first responders who reach that place and provide care and aid, they are the ones who are applauded for what they've done. But very rarely do we see occasions when people who have prevented these things from happening are similarly applauded for doing a good job. But I think the way around it, or the way to address it, is the approach. And what is that approach? And that approach is that, look, I'm able to see in the future, I'm able to connect the dots, and I'm able to tell everyone that these are possible risks or things that can go wrong. So that's a positive. And it's about being able to sensitize the management. It's not the bad news, it's actually a heads up.
When we talk about approach, right, and when we talk about bucketing risk, if you look up and down the gamut of corporate insurance, from product liability insurance to professional liability insurance to workers' comp, group health insurance, property insurance, and the list goes on and on. What is the right approach to separating church from state when it comes to enterprise risk versus operational risk?
I hold this view that the business of business is to take risks. The business of the insurance sector is to help businesses take risks. If you don't take risks, there is nothing. That's where the professional risk manager sits. He has to enable his organization to take risks prudently. But why don't we look at it differently? Why don't we look at a risk manager's role as seizing risks as an opportunity?
Absolutely, sir. I think you summarized it well. And, Bharat, I'll bring you in now. And I'd love your take on the extent to which all of these modern day technologies, be it artificial intelligence, big data, machine learning, do they truly come to the rescue of the modern day risk manager, or do they in fact pose a threat and potentially have the ability to replace that profession altogether?
Now, everything from a risk perspective cannot be accounted for. You can't, bring your SAP tools to account for the risks. So what you need to bring is your own, advisory model to your internal customers. It's not the past data, what you're looking at. It's a futuristic model. The kind of data we handle, cannot be brought through the technology. It needs a human interface.
Technology, it can certainly be a good enabler. But the specific intelligence which a risk manager carries, and I'm using the word specific intelligence, it's a blend of the business knowledge, the intricacies of the business, the knowledge of insurance, the knowledge of risk. And that is exactly what is required to manage the risks in a holistic manner. End of the day, the managing and operating of risks will always remain within the human intelligence and in hand. It can't go beyond that. I don't think it can go beyond that.
How can top management better inculcate a risk-aware culture within their organizations, or at least at the very minimum, facilitate more employee participation in the risk assessment process? I mean, surely risk cannot be strictly the risk manager's problem.
Prevention is where the entire risk culture starts. Prevention, saves us a lot of money. Take the aviation sector where he comes from.
Yes.
The entire game is on prevention. They look at near misses.
So the management mindset definitely has changed over the period of time. They believe what is happening. If you convey the story, the real story of the risk behind, they would understand, appreciate, provided you have given a right background. And since we have some experience now and we talk to a lot of industry experts and bring the relevant data across what's happening in the industry, they then realize that, the cost is justified. So we have to have a balanced approach.
Are the right incentivization schemes in place, broadly speaking, for that risk manager? Or are they perhaps, best practices from counterparts abroad that we can pick up in that regard to help further develop this industry?
Please look at specialization. Until and unless you specialize, how can you innovate? So please specialize. With specialization will come innovation, and then will come adaptation of the best wordings to Indian standards and Indian requirements.
I think that deserves a round of applause, please. And I want to come to you, Ajit. Do you believe that modern-day risk manager has an adequate voice in the boardroom today? And if not, how can that voice be better amplified?
Quite often we see that there is very little alignment and integration between the risk manager who's handling the operational risks and the people at the senior level or the board level who are looking at the enterprise risks. Now, this is one area which creates a lot of gaps or duplications. So imagine, a hazardous leak happening in a chemical plant and how it leads to a property damage. 2-3 lives or maybe a few lives are lost. The head of the plant and the owners get implicated in legal cases. A PIL gets filed, and there's a lot of loss of reputation. So see how, a small incidence at the operational level, it takes the shape of an enterprise risk. Now, where the organizations go wrong is that most of them, without alignment, follow a monoline approach. So without the alignment, things are going to go wrong. And it's highly recommended that the larger organizations realize sooner than later that it's important that their risk manager reports to the board, reports to the senior management, and each of the functional head has risk management as a KRA.
Huge round of applause for all of our panelists, please, for sharing such a rich range of perspectives from their personal journeys, their professional journeys. I believe it's deeply deserved.
Our objective here tonight at the Prudent Risk Management and Insurance Awards is to celebrate stalwarts in the risk management profession by honoring their invaluable contributions. So in the current scenario, how pivotal are sound risk management and insurance strategies in changing the course of a company's success story? To shed more light on the subject, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker. He's an industry stalwart, the Managing Director and CEO of Bajaj Allianz General Insurance, Mr. Tapan Singhal.
So first and foremost, if you look at the insurance industry, and we hear our Prime Minister speak about the $5 trillion, fifth largest economy, becoming the third largest economy. What doesn't get talked about is the leaking bucket. So let's say if you have a bucket, you keep on opening the tap to grow it very fast, so you fill the bucket very fast, but the bucket is leaking, net of growth is still lower. Our net of growth may be 6-7% of GDP. We are very happy with that because the world is struggling. So our 6-7% looks very good. But do we realize a simple thing like a common or universal health care for all is a 1.2% increase in GDP? Just because there's no universal health care for all in our country, about 7% of India's population goes below poverty line. That is about 10 crore people become poor. To raise 10 crore people above poverty line costs you 1.2% of GDP growth. So now let's say we are all risk managers, and this is a problem we have to solve. And the government obviously would not want to spend money because they already stress on the exchequer. So how do you solve this problem, which pushes the country's growth to 8.2% of GDP from today's parameter, and does not cost government money? As risk managers, are we thinking about this? Do you see your insurance industry as a powerful body that you make a difference to the country at a level which no other industry can do so? Could we, as professionals, make that difference? Which industry can have the pride to stand up and say, we can transform our country to grow at a pace while becoming the third largest economy in whatever time frame set by the government can be shortened by us, because as risk managers, we can show the way with data, with information, and no cost to government exchequer by simple solutions. And I'm very sure with awards coming through, and I'm very happy that Prudent is doing that, putting this back to focus is what was very essential. On your shoulders lies this. Do it well. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much, Mr. Singhal, for that. But before we get to the awards, one last bit is really important. It's important to share with you what the process has been like. So, as we began accepting nominations for the Prudent Risk Management and Insurance Awards late last quarter, hundreds of entries poured in from all corners of the country, and these applicants were subject to a rigorous multi-stage evaluation process. So I want to take the opportunity to thank the EY team for how hands-on they've been and how helpful they've been as our process advisors in the journey towards conceptualizing the inaugural Prudent Risk Management and Insurance Awards on ET Now. And to shed more light on that process and offer us a brief overview of the awards evaluation methodology via which the Prudent Risk Management and Insurance Awards grand jury was ultimately able to determine tonight's winners, I'd like you to join me in welcoming on stage partner and India Head Marketing Advisory, Ernst & Young LLP, Ameya Swaroop.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to celebrate the first edition of Risk Management and Insurance Awards presented by Prudent Insurance Brokers. The objective of the award is to celebrate stalwarts in the risk management profession and to honor the professional risk manager in corporate India. The award recognizes inspiring leaders and managers for their invaluable contribution to the fraternity and help enhance the profile of risk management in corporate India. EY has assisted the team to define the award categories, eligibilities, and the terms and conditions for the process that was followed. Finalists had the opportunity to interact with the esteemed jury members and present their initiatives basis which the jury assigned the scores to determine the winners. EY has been independent in moderating the entire jury process to maintain confidentiality and any unbiases in the awards management. We would like to thank our panel of esteemed jury members whose efforts, time, expertise, and guidance has led to the beginning of a successful celebration tonight. On behalf of Ernst & Young, I'd like to congratulate all the participants for their efforts and all the winners as well. Hope you all have a great evening tonight. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ameya, for that. All right, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's move on. Our objective here tonight at the Prudent Risk Management and Insurance Awards is to celebrate stalwarts in the risk management profession by honoring their invaluable contributions, not simply to their individual respective companies, but to the fraternity at large. Now, as we kickstart the first set of awards, I'd like to invite up on stage our keynote speaker, Mr. Tapan Singhal. Sir, if we can have you up to hand out the first 3 awards. Ladies and gentlemen, our first category this evening is Excellence in Emerging Risks. Now, this award aims to recognize individuals who have taken the initiative towards identifying risks that are difficult to quantify and yet pose a potentially catastrophic loss for the organization. Let's have a look at the finalists.
Excellence in Emerging Risks. And the finalists are Satisha K, Aquarel India Private Limited, Disha Ghai, Flipkart Group, Akhilesh Rathi, FSN E-Commerce Ventures Limited, Nykaa, Archana Soni, Infosys Limited.
All powerful names. Why can't you give it to all of them? Why do you want me to choose one?
That's always the toughest part, Mr. Singhal.
Yeah, seriously. Well, when I looked at the names and I know most of them, I think they do such an amazing job. Okay, the jury says Disha Ghai, Flipkart Group.
Thank you. I think there are a lot of firsts in this. So to start with, of course, the ceremony itself, as everybody has been talking, that first in the industry where we are recognizing such talent. First, for me, to be on the risk manager side, I have been in this industry for more than 15 years and have been a broker throughout. So this was the first venturing out towards the, the other side of the table, wherein I'm sourcing rather than supplying. So that first, and first award for myself at this platform and receiving it from the veteran in front of so many, stalwarts of the industry. I think nothing could have made it better. And thank you to all the jury members for, recognizing this effort. And I'm very thrilled that in a short stint of 1.5 years at Flipkart, I'm taking this home with me. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Disha. Congratulations. Our next category is Excellence in Property Damage Claims. Now, this award recognizes individuals who proactively plan for catastrophic damage and establish processes and protocols to help prepare their organizations to financially recover from physical damage to their assets. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the finalists in this category.
Excellence in Property Damage Claims. Brunal Pandit, Tata Consumer Products Limited. Manish Agarwal, Reliance Jio Infocom Limited. Ratnesh Bhasin, Sun Pharmaceutical Industries Limited.
Mr. Singhal, if you can do the honors.
It's good that I'm not part of the jury. That's the only thing I can say. It's unbelievable. And such a great job that you guys did. Such fantastic names, which are there. Okay. Ratnesh Bhasin, Sun Pharmaceutical Industries Limited.
Tapan sir, this is really unbelievable. I'm standing in front of this esteemed gathering. I was not assuming that I'll be reaching this level. So I didn't believe in myself. It is my boss who believed in me and gave me all the opportunities to do the wonders in this field. Thank you, Mr. Charlie.
Thank you and congratulations once again. All right, let's move on to our next category. This is Insurance Benefits Personalization Enabler. Now, this award aims to recognize individuals who have taken the initiative towards providing, integrating, and enhancing choice-based personalized insurance and non-insurance solutions for their company's employees and family members, resulting in higher employee retention, acquisition, and satisfaction scores. Let's have a look at the finalists for Insurance Benefits Personalization Enabler.
Insurance Benefits Personalization Enabler. Raksha Agarwal, Equity Knowledge Partners. Ankita Agarwal, Allstate India Private Limited. Supriya Sharma, Synopsys India Private Limited.
This is very close to me. People who can innovate, design covers, do that well. I love that well. And I'm just jealous of all the awards that you guys are getting. It's so beautiful. I received so many awards all my life, but I never got such beautiful awards. So I think I have to now apply for this sometime. The winner is Ankita Agarwal, All State India Private Limited.
Thank you everyone, the Prudent team, the leadership team at Allstate. I take this on behalf of this because it's a big journey that we've taken at Allstate. It's a complete transformative growth journey that we are at from a benefits, from an insurance and risk management perspective. So thank you everyone.
Congratulations once again. And thank you, Mr. Singhal, for doing the honors. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the awards continue. For our next set of awards, I'd like to invite up on stage our jurors. We have Mr. Amit Narayanan, Partner, India and South Asia Control Risks. We have Mr. Manoj Jain, Founder and Director, Risk Pro India Ventures. And Mr. Sudhir Dalvi, Group Executive President, Corporate Audit, Aditya Birla Group. Gentlemen, if we could have you on stage to hand out the next set of awards. And let's take a look at our next category this evening. This is Supply Chain Risk Management and Insurance Professional. This award aims to recognize individuals who have proactively identified, assessed, and mitigated supply chain risk, making their company's supply chain more resilient. These individuals have reduced supply chain-related losses, contributed to sustained supply, production, and/or sales, thereby protecting the company's revenue streams and overall market share. Let's have a look at the finalists in this category.
Supply Chain Risk Management and Insurance Professional, Amrit Pal Singh, Flipkart Group. Harshada Mondkar, Marico Limited. Krishan Kumar Dhamija, Sun Pharmaceutical Industries Limited.
The award goes to Harshada Mondkar from Marico.
I'm really honored to receive this award on behalf of Marico. And I would like to thank Prudent Brokers, first of all, for setting this platform for all risk managers to demonstrate their contribution to the industry. I'm grateful to Marico for their belief in me and motivating me to make a difference. Last but not the least, my supply chain team, my supervisors, my insurance broker, Unison, and insurer, Tata AIG, for their support and contribution. Congratulations, everyone, all the finalists and winners. Thank you.
Now, our next category this evening is Global Insurance and Risk Program Management Professional. This award aims to recognize individuals who have actively identified opportunities to consolidate global risk exposure through centrally managed insurance programs, ensuring the implementation of umbrella risk transfer solutions across geographies. Let's have a look at the finalists for Global Insurance and Risk Program Management Professional.
Global Insurance and Risk Program Management Professional, Kumud Malhotra, Cummins India. Sandesh Gudhekar, Godrej Consumer Products Limited. Brunal Pandit, Tata Consumer Products Limited.
Okay, so just before announcing the award, I just wanted to highlight as part of the team here that it's been extremely difficult to pinpoint a specific winner. And I believe, as someone has already said, that everyone has actually won before they came into the room. So the award for this category goes to Kumud Malhotra, Cummins, India.
Say thank you, Prudent, for recognizing the risk professionals across the country. And then I would like to thank all my mentors and leaders in this industry who had led me on this path. And I really enjoy my journey as a global risk manager. And I think Pawan had said something about resilience. It's not easy to change the mindset of leadership of your organization and lead them on a path where it's not only about buying insurance program, but having a holistic risk management approach. So I think it's been a great journey. Thank you.
Congratulations, Kumud. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to our next category. This is Rising Star Professional of the Year. Now, this award aims to recognize individuals who in their short tenure within the organization have demonstrated a deep understanding of the organization's risk, as evidenced by a written report to the executive management or to the board of the company. These individuals showcase a high level of relationship building and the ability to influence and seek support from key risk management stakeholders across the organization to implement effective risk management programs. Here are the finalists for Rising Star Professional of the Year.
Rising Star Professional of the Year: Devanshu Bhardwaj, Arohan Financial Services Limited. Chinmay Chandakar, Hindustan Unilever Limited. Rakesh J, Vena Energy Infrastructure Services Private Limited.
And the award goes to Devanshu from Arohan Financial Services Limited.
Thank you, everyone. I'm deeply humbled and honored to receive this award. This is my first, and first is always special for all of us. I would really like to thank my mentors, my family, my organization for this. Since my journey in the impact space isn't about personal success, it's also about the benefit of the people. So this recognition is just not going to be a recognition for my personal work. It's also for the wonderful work that my organization has done, the wonderful people at Arohan in the social impact sector. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening ahead.
Fantastic. Congratulations again, Devanshu. I'd like to thank Mr. Narayan, Mr. Jain, and Mr. Dalvi. Thank you so much, sir, for doing the honors. May I request you to please take your seats. For our final two awards, our big two awards, I'd like to invite back on stage Mr. G. Srinivasan, our chief guest, also the director of the National Insurance Academy. Sir, if we could have you on stage for our final two awards. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our next category this evening is Risk and Insurance Thought Leader of the Year. This award aims to recognize CXO-level professionals who are responsible for the identification, analysis, and mitigation of risks. Now, an individual who demonstrates exceptional technical knowledge of risk transfer mechanisms evidenced by his or her design and implementation of global risk management programs. Let's have a look at the finalists for Risk and Insurance Thought Leader of the Year.
Risk and Insurance Thought Leader of the Year: Monarch Limay, Allstate India Private Limited. Anisha Udeshi, Cipla Limited. Soni Srivastava, Deutsche Bank AG. Gurpreet Singh Jolly, Sun Pharmaceutical Industries Limited.
Let the suspense continue for one more moment. So the award goes to Soni Srivastava from Deutsche Bank.
anybody who knows me knows that it's difficult for me to say just a few words. So please indulge me, because I believe that a person's success is never theirs alone. There are a few people to thank. Firstly, my family, my father who got me into insurance, my sisters who inspire me, my husband who's my rock, my son, my niece who are my greatest cheerleaders. A big thanks to Deutsche Bank for this wonderful, exciting career. It's an inclusive and empowering organization that lets me be the best version of myself and then a bit better. Most of all, a big thanks to Prudent and ET Now for finally giving an insurance risk manager their moment in the sun, and for showing how crucial it is for insurance to be a part of the risk ethos of an organization. And lastly, I just would want to leave a thought behind, is that risk is a universal language. And organizations who, as a part of their risk culture, make sure that everybody from the CEO to the janitor is a risk manager, are the ones who are truly risk-wise and risk-secure. Thank you for this honor. I'm really humbled.
Fantastic, congratulations. All right, now our last and final category this evening is for Prudent Risk Management and Insurance Awards Hall of Fame. This award aims to felicitate an industry stalwart in the risk and insurance function who has played a significant role in moving the risk and insurance function forward in their respective organization and played a critical part in shaping new ways of thinking, driving the adoption of new coverages, and served as a force of innovation across the industry at large. Here are the finalists for Prudent Risk Management and Insurance Awards Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Achint Kapoor, Indian Oil Corporation Limited. Soni Srivastava, Deutsche Bank AG. Anisha Udeshi, Cipla Limited. Gurpreet Singh Jolly, Sun Pharmaceutical Industries Limited. Vijaya Chaudhary Manipalli, Renew Power.
Anisha Udeshi from Cipla.
I thank Prudent, ET Now, the jury. I'm really grateful to be receiving this award, and I thank my organization, my family, God, and my mentors, my seniors, my colleagues, every one of you who are present today for this award. And this really gives me a very, very big motivation to do better tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you again.
Congratulations. Anita, if I could request you to stay on, Mr. Srinivasan also, I'd like to invite back on stage all our winners along with our jury members. If we could have you on stage for a group photo op. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to bring this to a close. But before that, I'd like to ask to join me on stage the Joint Managing Director of Prudent Insurance Brokers, Mr. Gurpal Singh Dhingra, to deliver the vote of thanks.
To our honorable chief guest, our respected keynote speaker, jury members, respected panelists, finalists, winners, insurance industry peers, and members of the audience. As a company, we're truly honored to partner with ET Now for the first ever RMIA Awards in India. We salute the 1,000+ risk and insurance managers who work tirelessly to keep corporate India resilient. This is a growing profession, and we expect to see a great deal of interest in people entering this profession. Risk managers are all-rounders and deep subject matter experts. They must navigate the insides of the most complex companies and get disparate teams to work together to provide exceptional results. Hosting today's event gives us immense satisfaction in recognizing the very best professional risk managers in corporate India. This would have not been possible without the good offices of our process advisors, EY, who along with the jury went through a grueling, fair, an independent process of selecting finalists and winners from a close to over 200 plus applications that we received under various award categories. We would like to thank the panelists for their insightful views on the role of the modern-day risk manager. Respected Tapan Singhal sir, your views on how the industry can collectively make a difference will stay with us for a long time. And to our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Srinivasan, your views on changing dynamics of risk management was invaluable. Thank you to the tireless Prudent team for making this event successful over a 9-month journey of preparation, planning, and execution. You guys are rock stars. Last but not the least, a big thank you to the Times Group and to ET Now for this partnership and continued support in making this event a grand success. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you here next year.